Hello, smart plugs are really useful. They allow you to control your appliances remotely with a click of a button, or you can set up timers to automatically turn your devices on and off on a schedule, which is nice. However, there is loads of choice out there, making it pretty confusing for all of us to know which smart plug to buy. Should you go for a Amazon, Kasa, Atri or Leviton? Well, clearly the right answer is to buy a ZigBee-based Philips Hue plug, right? Kidding. Well, sort of. The first few smart plugs I mentioned are all Wi-Fi smart plugs, while the others are usually ZigBee or thread-based. This is an important distinction, so let's cover it first. As we discuss on the Smart Home Point blog, and we'll put links to that down in the description, there's quite a few different wireless technologies that allow devices to speak to each other. Many household devices nowadays use Wi-Fi. Each Wi-Fi device will connect to your router, and this allows them to download data from the internet and also speak to other devices around your home. Simple. However, Wi-Fi can be buggy. You might have a slow or weak internet connection, for example. That's where rival technologies like ZigBee comes in, and also Z-Wave, Bluetooth and Thread, although there's not as much smart plug choice with those other technologies right now, but there is with ZigBee. ZigBee can often have better reliability than Wi-Fi, so if you already have a ZigBee hub like a Philips Hue Bridge or an Eero 6 or 7, you could purchase a ZigBee-based smart plug from Philips Hue, or from Sonoff, Inner or Sparkle IoT. They all work fairly well and will lighten the load on your Wi-Fi network because they connect to a ZigBee hub and not your Wi-Fi router. However, if you don't have a ZigBee hub, don't worry. Wi-Fi smart plugs can still work pretty well as long as you don't go out and buy 20 or 30 of them, because this then might overload your router. The only downside of Wi-Fi plugs is the sheer amount of choice out there. There's just loads. That's why I'll focus on a few other factors in this video to reduce the number of options open to you. These factors are compatibility, price, any extra features like energy monitoring, local control options, and Matter support. Let's start with compatibility. This allows you to link your smart plug with a smart speaker controlling the plug with your voice, and also through the Alexa app, for example. If you have an Amazon Echo device, you're in luck because pretty much every single smart plug on the planet supports Amazon. Most also support Google Assistant as well, meaning that you can then link your Google Home account and speaker with it. There's less support for Apple Home though, meaning that you might not be able to link every smart plug with your HomePod speaker, for example. So if you're an Apple fan, double check that Siri or Apple Home is supported by the smart plug before you actually hit the purchase button. The next factor to look at is, of course, the price. Many Wi-Fi smart plugs work exactly the same way, so as long as they offer you the features you need, just focus on the price. Next. Luckily, TP-Link Kasa are a reputable make with good reviews, a smooth phone app and great prices. You can sometimes get a pack of 4 of these for around $6 or $7 each, which is pretty nice. There are other Wi-Fi smart plugs too to choose from, of course, but just be sure to check their reviews, and I say this because some of them only have 200 or 300 reviews. This means that maybe they're just a brand new company and they might have some teething issues. I personally quite like TP-Link Kasa, although TP-Link also sells another type of smart plug under the Tapo brand. They're pretty much the same as Kasa, which is confusing, but I discussed this all in another video and on the Smart Home Point blog if you wanted further information on that, and we'll put links to that down in the description. Moving on from price, there's a few other factors to consider. For example, would you want a smart plug that tracks how much energy your appliance is using? Energy monitoring can actually be a pretty awesome feature. I have this on my Kasa smart plug and it has saved me lots of money over the years because I can check exactly how much electricity a device is using and then turn it off if needed. Not all smart plugs offer this feature though, and ones that do offer it can often cost you more money, which is worth bearing in mind when you're actually purchasing. The next factor to consider is whether the smart plug offers local control or not. What this means is that if you have an internet outage, will your smart plugs still work? And can you still control them somehow? Many smart plugs, like from Kasa, will actually store any schedules and timers within the device itself, so we'll still activate any automations you've set up even when the internet goes down. That's pretty cool, but you won't be able to control it with your voice, through a smart speaker, or through the Kasa app, since these do require internet connectivity. Thankfully, many smart plugs also have a physical button on the side, such as the ones from Amazon, Kasa, and also Philips Hue. These naturally allow you to turn the device on and off without actually unplugging the smart plug from the wall outlet, which is useful. The other option is to find a smart plug that works with a physical remote, and I discussed this more in another video and on the blog, and links to those will be down in the description too. This can be a good way of protecting yourself from internet outages, or in the unlikely event that the smart plug provider actually goes out of business, like how LifeX, the lighting provider, went out of business in many parts of the world a few years ago. The final fact that I wanted to cover is about Matter support. I've spoken about the Matter project a lot in recent years, and it is a pretty cool development, allowing one smart device to automatically work with another smart device, assuming that both are Matter compatible. However, many smart products already support each other anyway, just like how Kasa plugs work with Alexa, the Google Assistant, and Siri. The benefit of Matter, though, is that if a new smart device comes on the scene and it supports Matter, hundreds of smart products will magically start working with it automatically. But if you're a Google Home fan, for example, and you have no plans on changing this, then having a Matter supporting smart plug isn't overly useful to you, in my opinion, because many smart plugs support Google anyway. And that wraps up the main factors to look for when buying a smart plug, but here's two other really important bits of advice. Firstly, if you're planning on buying a smart plug to actually control a table or floor lamp, you might actually be better off buying a smart bulb for this instead. These allow you to turn the light on and off in a smart way, such as on a schedule, with your voice, or through a phone app. But many also allow you to dim the bulb down and change the colour of the bulb, which is pretty neat. So while you can use a smart plug to just basically turn the lights on and off, a smart bulb might actually work out better, especially if you like the sound of those extra features. Finally, while I've discussed specific smart home brands in this particular video, there's no reason that you have to stick to a single brand throughout your entire house. You can mix and match and have some Kasa, Tapo and KTMC plugs dotted around your house, for example. This will work just fine, and while you will need multiple smart home apps on your phone to set them all up initially, once you link them with your smart speaker, you can then often uninstall the original phone app again and drive them all through Alexa, for example. So don't worry about choosing the right smart plug brand from day one. And that wraps up this video. If you enjoyed it, then please click the thumbs up button. Please also subscribe to this channel if you aren't already, and thank you for watching.